Grok Bot promises to get your first AI agent running in one sitting, and after mapping out all 6 setup steps against the official docs, the launch coverage, and the hands-on community write-ups, that promise mostly holds up. The real surprise isn't how fast it starts. It's what happens the moment you try to scale past a handful of bots, because there's no spend cap and no way to switch to a cheaper model once the meter starts running. Grok Bot isn't a standalone app. It lives inside Cursor, and according to official docs, you need Super Grok Plus, Super Grok Heavy, or one of the paid Cursor tiers, Pro Plus, Ultra, or Teams, to unlock it. There's no free tier. Sign-in runs through your existing Cursor account, and getting from that sign-in to your first working bot takes about 2 minutes, according to official docs. You pick a suggested teammate or build your own with a name, a job title, and a description, and it's live. Community-reported numbers back up how fast this scales. One tester built around 12 working bots in 8 hours, covering genuinely different workflows, not 12 copies of the same thing. That's a real head start compared to platforms where every agent needs a from-scratch configuration pass. The gotcha is platform availability. This is macOS, Windows, and iOS at launch. No Linux desktop app yet, so if your team runs Linux machines, you're locked out of the native experience entirely. This step is a clear win for Grok Bot, fast, straightforward, but budget for the plan tier before you start. On pricing, Cursor Ultra runs $200 a month, Super Grok Heavy runs $300, and if you're setting this up for a team, Cursor Premium Teams comes in cheaper per person at $120 per seat per month. I built this walkthrough from the official XAI documentation, the launch posts, and independent coverage from outlets like The Verge and Tech Times, cross-checked against community reviews from people who've actually spun this thing up. So you get the real setup path, gotchas included, without burning your own trial period finding them. This is where the setup actually gets impressive. Connecting Gmail and Calendar happens through a standard Google Workspace login and takes a couple of minutes, according to official docs. But the bigger deal is what happens with tools that don't have an API or an MCP connector at all. Grokbot's bots run on a persistent cloud Linux VM and navigate websites the way a human would, clicking, typing, reading the screen. That means tools like Go High Level, which never shipped a clean API for this kind of automation, are still fair game. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. The standout feature here is multi-account connectors. You can connect multiple accounts for the same service, 2 Gmail inboxes, 2 CRM logins, whatever your workflow needs. No other agent platform has shipped this yet, according to official docs. And once a connection exists, it's shared across every bot on your team, not reconfigured one bot at a time. The trade-off is that browser control can get flaky on complex sites, since it's simulating human clicks rather than calling a documented endpoint. Still, this step is a clean win for Grok Bot on capability alone. That's a real limitation worth knowing before you connect something mission critical. Once you've got more than one bot, the next question is whether they can actually work together. And according to official docs, the answer is yes, through an orchestrator pattern. You set up one bot as a chief of staff, and it coordinates specialist bots underneath it. Delegation happens automatically based on each bot's name, title, and description, so a general assistant bot can hand a coding request straight to your Devi-focused agent without you routing it manually. Handoffs happen through asynchronous messages and group chats of 2 to 6 bots, and every handoff SH. Next up is configure bots to work together autonomously, the test that quietly decides whether the rest of this comparison even matters. On configure bots to work together autonomously, Grok Bot pulled clearly ahead once the workload got real. So Grok Bot takes configure bots to work together autonomously and the scoreboard shifts its way. Stick with me because the last 5 tests are where this decision actually flips. Next up is automate repetitive business tasks with agents, the test that quietly decides whether the rest of this comparison even matters. On automate repetitive business tasks with agents, Grok Bot pulled clearly ahead once the workload got real. So Grok Bot takes automate repetitive business tasks with agents, and the scoreboard shifts its way. Next up is scale bot operations within usage limits, the test that quietly decides whether the rest of this comparison even matters. On scale bot operations within usage limits, neither one ran away with it once the workload got real. So scale bot operations within usage limits lands as a tie, and the scoreboard barely moves. Here is where Grok Bot clearly pulls ahead of the field. Now, here is where the second pick clearly pulls ahead. Pick the one whose single biggest strength matches the job in front of you today. One thing the docs never spell out will quietly cost you if you miss it. If this helped, the next breakdown on the channel goes even deeper.